Welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Down here on Thursday morning this week. Got down here about, I think about 7:30. Just been pottering about, having a look around. A few little bits and pieces to do today. Just come down to have a little tidy up, do a little bit of weeding. Well, there's not much in the beds, more around the plot really. Maybe mow if it gets dry enough in a little bit. And see if I can sow some more seeds. There's a few little spots, maybe move some leeks again, and harvest anything we can. Starting to get to that point of the year where we can start taking little harvests home each visit and start replacing some of the earlier crops. Yeah, everything's looking really good. We've had another week of quite a lot of rain. Yesterday we had massive rain showers followed by quite warm sun, by sort of 20 degrees Celsius sunshine again. So it went through quite a few different seasons in one day. So we're a bit all over the place, although the allotment does seem to quite enjoy this kind of weather. So that's not all bad. But yeah, getting out here today, I think it's supposed to be fairly dry this morning and then wetter later. So make use of the dry for now. So the Three Sisters beds, pumpkins are looking really good. They seem to be loving this weather. Do need to keep an eye on this side. I can see one of the pumpkin shoots here making a run for it down this way, so I'm going to have to divert it that way so it doesn't go over the paths. But the plants are looking really good, really healthy, really nice plants, and the beans are growing up them really well, as I was hoping. So that's great to see. I'll have to have a good sort of rummage in here, see if there's any beans on these plants. They're well in there this year, which is kind of good. They're supposed to climb up the sweet corn. But yeah, they're all looking good. We've even got some tiny fruit growing on these, which is cool. Hopefully we'll get some nice pumpkins this year. So they're looking good. There's another little one there. That's awesome. So yeah, they're looking pretty good. Sweet corn still battling away. That one's not doing too bad actually. Just need to keep giving it some light. Hopefully that one will make its way up. And in this bed, yeah, they're sort of taken over. There's 3 in this bed, so quite a lot for the space. That sweet corn's doing okay. They're getting there. They're trying. Might get a couple of sweet corn. But yeah, really happy with them. Big success of the year, I think, those so far. And I think these are butternut squash. A few little weeds to get out in there today, but they're looking okay. They're slowly getting there, catching up. The courgettes, however, that we planted last week, not so happy at all. I think they've been got to by the slugs. Yeah, not happy at all. So I don't think they're going to make it, those two. So there was already 2 in here which weren't doing great, and the middle one there I planted last week. There were a couple of leaves going. You never know, but the slugs seem to like these 2 beds for some reason. So yeah, they're not going to be a good courgette year in those bits. Although we've got a couple of other plants. The peas are looking good. Some nice flowers, nice pods growing. Ones in the middle are slowly getting going. And this random bean is that going to try and string that up a bit. Yeah, we've got some nice peas to harvest up here. Loads of flowers on these bits. So yeah, we've got these really nice peas here. It's getting loads in here now. So that's great. So yeah, we'll be able to get a nice pea harvest soon out of those. Yeah, so they're looking really good. Slowly getting there with the peas. I think these are butternut squash slowly getting there. I need to take that off and grab that big weed out there today. They're doing okay. There's one buried under there as well. These potatoes seem to be loving this weather. They're doing very well. And then these courgettes are doing much better. For some reason, maybe the soil, who knows. Yeah, but these ones are doing loads better. So these were ones I grew at home and I planted out 2 or 3 weeks ago, probably 3 weeks. Yeah, they're very happy. Nice little insects on the plants there. So there's 3 good plants there. So they're probably the only 3 courgettes I've got going this year that are actually doing much. So hopefully they'll continue okay. And our radish is looking very good. I'll try and sow some more today. Try and remember to do that. I need to cut back this chard as well. That's all gone to seed. I'm going to cut it like right back and see if it comes back again. We really don't eat hardly any of that compared to what grows, and same over the other side. It's gone crazy. So yeah, I'll give that a good hack back today, I think. Onions going away, not amazing, but I did sow them at the wrong time of year really. But leeks are doing well. The ones I moved last week, so I moved about 10 last week, spread them out into the onion bit. They all look happy, so I will try and move some more, try and spread out some more of these today. And yeah, we'll slowly spread those around as we get gaps, and hopefully we'll have a good leek year again. We did really well with leeks last year. And the spinach, we took loads of spinach home last week. It's another plant. I only sowed a little row, and I've got absolutely loads of spinach off that. Again, it needs cutting back a bit. It's going a bit mad, so I'll cut the tops off those and take a load home. But yeah, that's a really good crop. It surprised me how well this has done, how much spinach we've got off it. I wasn't expecting much out of that little row, but it has really done very nicely. Carrots, we've got a couple of nice carrots there. If you go in there. Another thing I want to sow some more of if I've got time. I'll check the seed packets. There's a few dotted about. In fact, those ones are looking pretty nice as well. So yeah, plenty of space to sow some more of those in amongst the flowers. These lovely flowers. I sow a little bit of colour in the bed. And the Savoy cabbage, it's doing pretty well. Pretty happy with that this year, so that's done really well. There is one plant that hasn't done much, but the rest of them are looking really happy. The netting seems to be pretty much doing its job. There is a few little holes in some of the leaves, so something must have got in. But in general, they are looking pretty good. That one's looking quite nice. So yeah, so hopefully we'll get a nice cabbage harvest. Now plot 1, as I said last week, the strawberries are done. Just the odd 1 or 2 we've been eating from the front garden now and then. But we definitely had a very good run of it this year, so can't complain. Not that anyone's interested in strawberries now because the kids are so sick of them. But the raspberries are kicking in now. There's some nice raspberries. Enjoy with raspberries, they only tend to get a sort of handful each time, so you don't get many to harvest in one go. Or I don't anyway. I know I do need to do some improvement on this bed. Need to put some more compost or something in it. Still, some of the plants aren't so happy. Some of them, it's looking a lot better than it did when I took the plot on. But yeah, I've been slowly adding compost each year and bark chips to sort of cover it up. Yeah, we'll get there. And then potatoes. So our main crops this side, we've got 3 beds of main crops there, are looking pretty good. Last week they looked like they'd been really hammered by the rain, so I'm glad to see them all look a bit happier now. They all sort of flopped over in that heavy rain, but yeah, they are definitely looking a lot happier for a bit of a rest. I think we're supposed to have quite a warm week next week, so hopefully that will get everything going after a bit of rain. We sowed some more main crops, some twister in here last week, so obviously nothing come up yet, but hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks we'll start seeing some shoots there. Hopefully that'll make it through the season, we'll get something out there. And our second earlies are looking really nice and green. See, we're swimming in potatoes at the moment. We had quite a lot of those first earlies, so certainly no rush to harvest any more potatoes at the moment. But yeah, really nice to see them doing well. One crop that we often do well, touch wood, we do quite well at, and always I like having them on the plot because they look very full on the plot. They fill up the beds really well, and they always look nice. I like the flowers as well. Rudolphs up this end are they're sort of thinning out this side a bit, sort of flopped over a bit, but I think they're doing okay. Hopefully we'll get some good potatoes from them. They were in quite a bit earlier than the other potatoes, so yeah, we shall see. And then at this end, rhubarb's doing well. We've got a load of rhubarb at home I need to harvest as well, actually. So yeah, that's growing back nicely from the last harvest. Do need to do a bit of weeding in here, so I'll tidy that up today. And I did plant a courgette in here, actually. There is some flowers in here. There's a few little flowers I can see coming up. Yeah, that courgette seems fairly happy. So hopefully, touch wood, the slugs will leave that one alone, and that might grow. I just put it in there. There was a semi-spare bit of space, and I thought I'd try it in there as I had a spare one. So yeah, plot's looking pretty good. Starting to get to that bit of the year where it's wet, warm, starts to go a bit mad. Obviously the bit at the back here, this bit's a mess. I need to do weeding there. I've got plans for this in the winter, so I'm not too bothered about it. It is going to get changed a lot. It's not going to be a bed anymore, so I'm not putting too much effort into this area other than trying to keep it a bit tidy. But the ones at the end here are looking good. Potatoes, they're looking pretty good. The flowers have died off now, so they'll start to, must be getting on. Yeah, so not too bad looking. It's not too wet down here, luckily. The paths are okay. Might be able to get a bit of a lawn mow later on when it's a more reasonable hour. And yeah, I brought some water down, brought some compost down, and yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of weeding, starting this rhubarb bed, and then potter about and see where I can fill in some gaps with some seeds, maybe some carrots, and maybe some radish. Yeah, I'll have a look through my seed packet and see what we can still get away with sowing. Just had a wander over to the allotment plot orchard. There's quite a few trees, different fruit trees here. They belong to each plot holder, but they're all in one space, and we're allowed to put trees here with permission. And this tree in front of us, this was on our plot 1 when we got the plot, and it was a pretty unloved tree, but it was right in the middle of a good space. So I wanted to move it because it was taking up where I've got 2 beds now. So 2 years ago, I think, I moved it to this space, and I sort of struggled to get going. See quite a lot of dead wood at the top, which I might go and get some secateurs and just cut some of that off. But I just thought I'd come over and check it and see how it's getting on. And it's actually bearing fruit. First time I've seen fruit on it. So I think it's a plum tree. So yeah, it's got some really nice fruit on it. So there's 4 on this side, 2 on the other side. Yeah, so that's really cool to see. Really nice to see that it survived a move, and it's finally getting going. There's 2 up there as well. So yeah, really pleased to see that. That's really nice. It's got some nice growth down the bottom, so I think it'll do all right over the years. It'll get there. But yeah, certainly some of these sort of died off, although these ones have got some dead bits on, some good bits. Yeah, Really happy to see it's got some fruit on it. Hopefully we'll get some plums this year. That would be nice. So that was quite a cool little thing to see. I think that is the bees mating, I'm assuming. Yeah, that was really cool to watch in the chard bed. Loads of wildlife today around today. There's loads of dragonflies and bees and things. It's really nice to see, sitting down here, drinking a cup of tea, watching that. So I've chopped back this chard, so this big bed of chard, I've chopped it quite hard down. There's still quite a lot of usable chard on there actually, but I'm hoping it'll bush up a little bit, grow a little bit, harvest what we can. One thing I like doing about that and using chard in rough bits of ground is that has really filled up my compost bin. That's a really good way to grow loads of green to fill up your bin, if you've got a little bit of space, especially if it's a bit of rough ground. It's quite good. Always trying to find stuff to put in the compost, and the same with this bed. So I've cut this back quite hard. It was basically up to the fence post really. So I've cut it back quite hard. And again, there is quite a lot I could harvest off here actually. Quite a lot of these little leaves, which would probably be pretty good. So I might get a few of those, especially over this side. And hopefully it'll bush up, and I'll try and keep on top of it and cut it back every so often. Yeah, so that's good. So I've had a bit of a weed around some of the back where the stinging nettles and brambles are, little bits around the paths, mainly around the edges of the beds and the paths and things, not particularly the beds. They do really well with a sort of no dig kind of approach. Don't really unsettle the weed seed, so don't get too much in the odd one. Yeah, and the sunshine's made a bit of an appearance, so it's nice to have a bit of sunshine down here. So next up, I think I'm going to let's get some seeds in the ground when I've got a bit of time. So I'm going to go and have a look at my seed packet and see what I can still get in. Looking through my seed box, found a few things we can get in the ground in July. So we've got some beans. So I bought some canes from B&Q a couple of weeks ago. So I can use those over in the Three Sisters bed somewhere and get some more beans in. And there's some climbing beans, so they'll need those. We've got some carrots. I'll fill in some of those gaps in the carrots and along that long bed. Radish, I'll put another line of radish near the courgettes. We might be pushing it now with the foliage, but it's a nice use of space. Yeah, we've got two types of beans there, so I'll perhaps mix them up. We've got some cabbage, so I'm not sure if I've got space to do that anywhere. They obviously get quite big, so I'll see if I can think of somewhere for that. And some viola flowers. I think they're supposed to be sown indoors and planted out, but I might chuck a line in somewhere. You never know. A bit of nice bright yellow on the plot would be nice. So let's go and do some beans and some carrots first, and see what room we can find. Something else in my seed pack I've just found is these large orange pumpkin seeds that I saved from 2 years ago, 2022. So I've got absolutely loads in there, hundreds of the things. So I might just sow a couple in these beds here, these beds I put the courgettes in. Just chuck a few round. If they grow, they grow. If the courgettes die off, which I think they will, they might take over and we'll get some more pumpkins. Can never have too many pumpkins, right? These beds, especially this one, is pretty rubbish soil. I need to improve those. So they're not going to do great for other sorts of seeds, I think. I might even try. I keep seeing people talk about cutting the ends off seeds, like pumpkins, courgettes, that kind of seeds, squashes. I might even give that a go. Do a few of those and see how that gets on. going to sow some of these radish seeds in between the courgette plants as they get going. Hopefully they'll mature before the courgettes take over too much. So these are purple plum. They're the same ones as I've sowed before, so hopefully they'll do okay. I'm just going to make a nice little shallow line and put these in. I'll water them in a little bit. I'm going to sow some more carrots, so there's quite a few gaps in between the rows I've already got growing. So these are James Scarlet Intermediate. You can sow them to the end of July, and they'll harvest up to the end of November. Yeah, I'll give that all a water in a minute. I've done a little bit of harvesting, so I've got some Swiss chard, a little bit of that, a little bit of spinach. I've got quite a lot of spinach. There's more on there I could pick actually, and I've got some raspberries and one strawberry. There's a couple more on there that are still ripening, but yeah, one tiny little strawberry. It's a nice little harvest to take home. There is a load of peas to harvest as well. But I'll bring the kids down at the weekend and they can harvest some of them. They enjoy doing that, or eating their way through them more than harvesting. But yeah, they like doing that, so I'll let them do that. Yeah, so I think that's probably all I'm going to do today. Starting to get on in time. It's about 10, I think. So yeah, best to get home. So yeah, got quite a few jobs done today. Cut back all that chard, bit of weeding, tidying up, bit of harvesting. Got some carrots in, got some pumpkins in, some radish. So not a bad day. A few hours down here. It's been quite a nice morning. So that's always good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Look at the plot, middle of July. It's all growing away nicely. Nice to see all the pumpkins taking over and filling up the beds. And, yeah, very nice to take a harvest home as well. Yeah, I hope you're all keeping well, and look forward to talking to you soon.